Hey guys, and welcome to another lesson in the No Mod Chop class here on the Skooled Zone. In the comments of my re-roofing sanctuary video, a viewer named LegSpider8 asked if I could do a video on reflooring sanctuary. He's been a subscriber for well over a year, and I was planning to refloor the houses in sanctuary anyway, so why not make a quick video about it? I think a lot of other people might benefit from it as well. But before we get to that, I want to show off the Skooled Zone Wall of Fame. Last month, I featured the names of my Patreon supporters on a marquee sign outside. I mentioned that I'd be extending the special offer to get your name on the leaderboard for any Patreons of any level through September. So those are the names you're about to see. Now, I had to replace the marquee sign because I was running out of room, which of course is a good problem to have. But instead of trying to fiddle with those tiny little acrylic letters in the game and trying to center them and move them all around when people came and left, I decided to do it all digitally. That way you can see the names a little better anyway. So let's take a look. Oh, and Catmeat says hi. And here's the Wall of Fame and the names of September's Patreons. I put the higher donors near the top because, you know, those people deserve a little extra recognition for believing the channel and helping me get a little closer to doing YouTube full time. But I want to thank everyone who is supporting the channel for their amazing generosity and encouragement. Now, after September, I was going to return to reserving the featured names for the higher tiers, you know, as it's currently listed on my Patreon page. But here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to make the Wall of Fame a permanent fixture in my videos and feature names on it once a month for the $5 tiers and higher. The higher tier that currently says it'll feature your name in a video will become a dedicated sponsor card at the end of the video. So that way there'll be a difference between those two. So for the $5 tier, not only will you get access to the Skooled Zone Patreon community, but you get to see the secret notes passed in class, get early access to special Let's Play videos, and you'll get your name featured on the Wall of Fame. I think that's a pretty good deal. Most importantly, you'll get me closer to doing YouTube full time, which is, you know, the only reason I can't put out daily videos. You know, that pesky day job has to pay the rent and YouTube's AdSense ain't cutting it. So head over there if you want to support the Skooled Zone, and again, a sincere thanks to all the names on the wall. Now let's head over to that sanctuary house I was working on and refloor that puppy. Alright guys, we're here back in Sanctuary. As you can see behind me from my re-roofing video, I adjusted the roof just a little bit. The reason I had the barn tiles in the center line there earlier was because I didn't want the metal scrap showing on the sides. But then I found those little pyramid-like caps over there, and it makes it kind of recede into the ceiling a little bit. Looks pretty cool, actually. Now, you don't have to replicate that if you don't want to. It's just an idea for you. I might end up putting some of those cupolas on top of each of these points, which, by the way, that's how it's pronounced, and see how those look. But anyway, let's get on to reflooring Sanctuary. Oh, and by the way, you could probably see here I've added a roof to that house over there. And way in the background, you can see I've started building the hydroponic greenhouse, but I don't want to show all that stuff off yet. I kind of want to complete more Sanctuary and show it all in one fell swoop. That way it'll have, you know, a little better of an impact. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the posts so they don't get in the way. I just wanted you to see how nice it looked with them on there. We're going to add those back in later. And then over here, I went ahead and set up ahead of time the proper amount of tiles. So we'll count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. And 1, 2, 3, 4.5, okay? So these square tiles are from the warehouse section. I really like the look of this wood, you know, it's just, you can use whatever materials you want, really. I just like the look. It has a nice clean look. It looks like something I'd put in a real house, you know? That's why I'm using it. And then these half tiles here are just to add the porch. Now, if you don't want a porch, you don't have to add these, of course. The only problem is that you'll end up having a little bit of extra empty space on the inside of the house because for some reason the houses aren't squared off exactly like they should be. So you either have some gaps in the inside or you have a porch. And I decided to go with the porch. So we have this post over here to pick it all up. So what I'm going to do is this is always a good practice, just select it and deselect it, and that way it'll refocus the pickup point. And we're just going to group select this entire thing and drag it over there as soon as Preston gets out of the way. Okay, here we go. So holding the button, Grabbing it, we're gonna drag it over here to this back corner. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it up with this corner here, almost. You get a better angle on it. Line it up with this corner, and then I'm gonna pull it back 2 slats. I may need to adjust it a little bit more in a second, but that's a good thing if you haven't built anything in the house yet, you know? So you'll see why. That's, I think, about 2 slats. Okay, now from here, we're gonna use that trick I showed you in my early settlement tips video. I'm gonna hold the left bumper and the select button so I can raise it up and down, and we're gonna get it right to the point where it turns blue, but is high enough. See, I can't go much farther up. And I think I know why, but there's a good reason for that. So I'll show you that in a second. But let's see if I can get it right at the edge there. Oh, this thing is so sensitive. Almost. Woo! Okay, I think that's probably good. All right, so I'm going to set it down. See if I counted 2 slats. It's a little more than 2 slats. So I'm actually going to push it in just a little bit. So group select. Just push it in just a bit. Tiny bit more. Perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to remove the post yet in case we need to do any more adjusting, but let's take a look and see how it looks. Very nice. Very nice. Actually, you know what? If you don't want to porch it all, you can actually have just 1, 2, 3 tiles. All right. That might actually fit. Well, no, there's going to be a gap right here, actually. But yeah, I wanted to extend this porch out so that I could have the posts pretty close to touching. All right, but if you don't want to do that, then you can remove these extra half floors, okay? But let me show you the reason why this is cool. First of all, I'm just going to raise it up just a little bit more. In my test, I had a little less leaves shown. But here's the cool thing. I didn't have to scrap this desk or the safe. Look at that. So I get to keep the safe and the desk, mainly because the terminal's here. It's kind of cool. So let's raise it up just a fraction more. Okay, perfect. Now we should have less leaves. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this just so you can see what it looks like without it. Okay? All right, so you'll have a tiny bit of leaves in here, but it's so much of an improvement from the way it was. It looks really nice to me. You know what I mean? And I can cover this up with furniture. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, and here's the reason why I wanted the 2 slats sticking out on this side, because now we can add from the concrete section these stairs. Otherwise, they would have been off center. You know what I mean? You can't put stairs right here for some reason. Won't let me. I mean, I could pillar glitch them in maybe, but they wouldn't snap into place. So there you go. Okay, so in a future video, I'll probably add the posts back and put some fencing around here to make it look like a real nice porch. But really, that's the gist of it. And you know what? In the last video, a lot of people were leaving comments on other methods, which is great. I mean, that's the really cool thing about this game, is that you can build it the way you want it. You know what I mean? So I'm just here to show you the way I like best, but this is all just my opinion, you know? You guys may like the dirtier look. You guys may want to use different materials. You may want to use less materials, not have a porch, that kind of thing. So you build it the way you want it. You do you. I'm just here to show you some tips and tricks, you know? So feel free to share any other ways you want to do it. Now, I will in the future video be doing walls, so you don't need to go into really long explanations of walls and stuff like that, because I will have a video coming out later when I start to put walls on this thing. But yeah, the comments have been great, and I've just been loving the participation, so keep it up. It's awesome. Well, I hope this helped. In the next video, we'll be back at my UFO build, so I can start showing you how to do some of the neat tricks you saw in that video. In the meantime, check and see if you're still subscribed. I've had some people tell me recently they weren't getting notifications of my videos. Can't have that. Either way, throw a like on the video and share it around. Always appreciated. See you in the next lesson. Happy building and class dismissed.